Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is Friday, November 11th. Today is Veterans Day, so thank you to all of the veterans for your service. Bill is off work today. I am off work today. Our plan originally was to go to the movies, but when I looked yesterday at what was playing, nothing really that caught my eye, so I said something to him, and what we've decided to do is go to Annapolis Mall and walk around. Probably going to have lunch at the Cheesecake Factory or somewhere. And there is a Barnes & Noble in Annapolis. And I told him, I said, I really want to go there. I've been wanting to go there for a while now, but I just haven't made the trip. It's one of the last few big bookstores that are in our area. And they usually have like a huge section of journals that I've been wanting to look at. So he was like, yeah, we can go there. And, I didn't really suggest it before because he doesn't read. He's not really interested in books, but he is willing to oblige me and go. So yesterday I did do a bit of stitching. So what I did was, I finished the white around Brew, and then I came up here and started the ghost. Now, one of my subscribers pointed out, and you guys are so very observant, and I realized this when I started stitching. The S is one stitch over, it should be butt up against the E, and it's not. And I realized that when I got up to here to the ghost. So stitched all that. When I got up to the ghost and matched it up with, this, it wasn't like lining up, and I'm like, oh no. And I thought, well, I'm just going to fudge it because there's no way in hell I'm going to tear all this out and restitch it. And the subscriber that mentioned it, luckily what they said, and it's true, the pattern is very forgiving. And what I mean by that is everything is lined up here, but once you get into the bits, like, it's pretty fluid around here, this edge. So her suggestion, and I'm absolutely going to take it, after I stitch the rest of this, when I start the next row, I'm going to make sure to start here on the end, because the O and the S line up, the O and the W line up. So I need to start every row on this edge. So it'll be lined up here, and then over here, it may just be like one stitch. And when your eye looks at it, you're not going to really be able to tell, I think, on this edge when it doesn't like match up completely. But yeah, there was no way in hell I was going to rip all that out and restitch it, because that's a big fat fucking no on that. And I don't even know how that happened, like, because if you look at the pattern, it's clear. It's clear that it should have been, right next to it. So I don't know. I don't have an explanation for that. But I am enjoying stitching this very much. The fabric, again, is Pole Stitches Stormy Skies. And it looks fantastic, I think. It's coming along so good. And I think after this, I want to stitch a Christmas design. Like, I want to stitch the new Primrose Cottage Stitches, the Christmas pattern. I saved the email, so I have it. I just love the aesthetic of their pattern so much that, yeah, the patterns are very easy to follow. They have good colors. I love how they finish them. I mean, just a myriad of things. So I had a question. Someone actually personally emailed me and said, I want to get a stitching stand. Do you recommend the Lowry? Absolutely. Out of all of the stitching stands that I've had, I feel like the Lowry is the most flexible one. I was able to get the light bracket, clip the light on, clip iPad stand, which is all that's been working fantastic. The only thing I would say is, and this person was using a Q-snap. If you're going to use a Q-snap, I would highly recommend getting the corner clamp, because it is made for Q-snaps and it works really, really good, and it lets you access all of your work. Do you know what I mean? Because it's clipped up here in the corner. I also have the table clamp, which is great for taking to retreats. And another thing I would recommend though, if you're going to have stuff all clamped on it like I do, and scroll rods, especially if you have pretty big ones, you're going to need a weight on the bottom of it because it will like want to topple over. So I have two 10-pound weights on mine, and I'm even considering getting a third one. I don't know if that's really necessary, but I have so much on the stand, you know, but I love it. And you can flip your work over, push it out of the way. I mean, it really is a fantastic stand, and not like breaking the bank. I think I paid a little over $100 for mine. You know, I've paid upwards, like for my Stitchmate, I've paid upwards of $400 for a stand before. So, and it will hold literally anything, a hoop, a Q-snap, any kind of scroll rods, because the clamp is adjustable. Yeah, it's fantastic. I also have moleskin on the inside of the clamp to give it like a little bit more grippy, I guess it's a good way to say it. And let me see if I can show you guys. I know I've showed it before, but see how I have moleskin on the inside? It's adhesive. I got a roll of it from Amazon, and it's like, it feels like velvet almost, but I have it on both sides, so it helps to really grip whatever apparatus you're putting in the stand. Now, I have a question for you guys, because I filmed my Stitch With Me yesterday, and I like that setup. I like being able to have it like that on my stitching like that, but setting it up and doing that is very tedious. So for those of you who do Stitch With Me's and you have it like on your work, how do you do it? What tripod are you using? How are you setting it up? Because I need to figure out, I need to be able to have a tripod in front of me that comes over without me having to move my chair mat and get another table and all that nonsense. I need something easy. So what I actually did was I went on YouTube and I put in Stitch With Me, and every Stitch With Me video that came up, I went on the video and I actually left a comment for a couple people saying, I would love to know the tripod you're using and how you set it up. No one has really explained in a video how they're doing it. And I would be really curious, because I need to perfect that setup, because I really enjoy doing the Stitch With Me's. And I need to also look at the settings on my phone, because I need to figure out how to turn off the autofocus, or have it where, you know, the videos that I've watched, people that like it's constantly in focus, like no matter if their hands in it or anything. So I need to figure that out. Yeah, because going forward, I definitely want to do more Stitch With Me's. I really enjoy doing them, and it lets me get a good 20 minutes in of stitching or more. So yeah, but okay. Yeah, we're going to get Chinese takeout for dinner tonight. We haven't done that in a very long time, and that's going to be good. But yeah, that's what's happening. I'm reading a book which I really like. It's called Daughter-in-Law by Shalini. I feel like I'm saying her name wrong. Let me look it up real quick. It was on Kindle Unlimited, which is awesome. Shalini Boland. I knew I wasn't saying it wrong. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I just started reading it. The book just came out November 4th. I just started reading it like 2 days ago, and I'm already more than halfway through it. The book is about 330 pages, and I'm on like 175. I mean, I've been reading it a lot. I read last night before bed, which was very nice, and then I got a good night's sleep last night. Forgot to turn off my alarm though for getting up at 4:15, so yeah, that was a nice little surprise. And yeah, reading that. And Riley Sager, who is one of my favorite authors, if you follow me on Instagram, I don't post very much on there. I'm really trying to take a step back from social media, you know, being on there so much. He usually releases one book a year, and it's usually in June. And I want to say the book is called The Very Last One, something about being the end, the last one. And he revealed the cover of it, and yes please, I've already pre-ordered the book. I always do that. I usually get the hardcover. Did I do that? Let's take a peek. Because what I usually do is I'll get the hardcover and read it, and then I pass it on to you guys. Let me see if I can pull up my order. It doesn't. Did I not pre-order it? Maybe I didn't. Maybe it's not on here. It's got to be on here. The Only One Left. That's what it's called. The Only One Left. So yeah, the Kindle version is $14.99 and the hardcover is $23.99. What I might actually do, because I've really, really been striving to not spend money on books, because you can very easily get books from your library, books through Kindle Unlimited, because I pay $10 a month for that. I might go into my library and see if I can't just put a hold on that and not pay for it. Yeah. You know, things that I can save money on, so I can, where there's flexibility, I really have been striving to do better with stuff like that. So if I want to buy a piece of cross-stitch fabric, you know, where there is no leeway, like if you want to buy hand-dyed fabric, you only got a couple options, right? Besides dyeing it yourself, which I have no desire to do that. But like I said, you know, being able to maneuver other ways of spending so you can buy the things that you want. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to do that when I get off of here. But very excited to read another one of his books. Absolutely. I've read every single one of his books. My favorite was his very first, called Final Girls. If you haven't read it, I read it in like 2 days. I was like staying up until like 3 in the morning reading it. And oh my God. So yesterday, after I did the video and everything, and before dinner, I sat down to do some stitching. And first of all, I finished Killer Sally. What a wonderful ending, because I still had like 15 minutes left of the last episode. What a great ending to something that was actually really heartbreaking. So I'm very happy for her and her children and all of that. It ended very, very well, and it actually brought a tear to my eye. And then I went to Hulu and I watched, what did I start watching? Oh, I had started watching the night before, the previous evening, the series called The Sister. It's 4 episodes, which I like shows that only have like 3 or 4 episodes, because I watched 3 episodes in one night. The one night I was off the next day. It's very good. Trying to say in a nutshell what it's about. This girl disappears from a party on New Year's Eve. And the guy that's involved in it winds up marrying her sister. And the girl's missing and has never been found. But he doesn't tell the sister that he married that he was there that night at that party. Holy hell, what happens? Holy hell. It's so good if you like suspense and thriller stuff. Very, very good. Highly recommend on Hulu. I love stuff like that. And what happened was, I was watching something, Handmaid's Tale. I would watch the finale, and then what'll happen is it will just, at least on my iPad, it'll just go to something, and it went to the sister, and I'm like, okay, I'll give this a shot. Oh my God, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So, yeah. So I hope you guys all have a great weekend. I hope to come back on Monday and have some stitching progress to show you. We're pretty booked next week for work. I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday so far. I think what's happening is people are trying to fit things in before Thanksgiving, because the following week is Thanksgiving. So, yeah. I actually have a physical on Thursday, and I always dislike those, because my doctor always makes a comment about, are you exercising? No, I'm not. And you know, I'm completely honest with her. Like, no, I'm not. When I have spare time, the last thing I feel like doing is exercising. I want to stitch, or I want to read, or I want to do something like that. I have been being more conscious about eating, and, you know, been fighting that for my entire adult life. But I realized last night, so normally I'm someone who, like, when I sit down when I get in bed and I go to read, I want to have a snack. And I always feel bad the next day from eating something really late at night. So last night I got in bed and we went to bed fairly early. I mean, it was like 9:30 and I didn't really feel like stitching. I was pretty tired. So I got in bed and I read for about half an hour and I didn't eat anything. And when I woke up this morning, I felt so much better. And I said to myself, Danielle, remember this feeling. Remember how good it feels to not eat anything after dinner all the way till the next morning. Have to remember that feeling because, yeah, I always feel awful if I eat something really, really late and then go to bed. So, but yeah, I mean, physical is important because I get blood work done and stuff like that, but she always comments about, and I get it. But really, what's more important than even exercise is your diet, like how you're eating. Abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. That's what, you know, most people say, and it's absolutely true because, you know, you can work out, you know, a whole bunch, but if you're eating like shit or you're eating too much, it's not going to make any bit of difference. So, okay, getting off that soapbox, right? But yeah, I hope you guys all have a great weekend. As always, if you have any questions, I will. I can't even remember my outro. What the fuck? Let me think for a second here. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.